If you're doing an internship or about to do an internship, then this is the cheat code to stand out without trying to be the hero who never leaves the weight room. In this episode, I'm gonna give you some keys to stand out, to impress, and hopefully land your next opportunity. Let's explore. So let's talk through how you can actually impress your supervisors, other strength coaches, maybe some sport coaches, definitely the athletes, with the goal of moving this internship into an opportunity, if not with the current team or current university or current facility you're coaching at as an intern, then ideally earning the recommendation of the supervisors you're working with, working for, and hopefully land something next. So I have a few notes here and I'm just gonna walk through them. Again, relatively casually, just trying to give you the keys to the game here. The first one, you wanna be useful, not just busy. So don't just ask, what do you need? Although early on, that's fine. But over time, you should begin to learn what people need, even if they don't tell you, right? Oftentimes, we don't want to go out of our way to tell people what we need, because to be honest, sometimes it feels like more work to manage interns than it is to actually have interns. And that only occurs when you're a bad intern. But if you're a good intern, then you're going to be helpful. You're going to think, how can I take something off of this coach's plate? Right? And then rather than asking them what they need, I'm just gonna go out and do those things. Now you wanna earn trust early on to build that relationship, but eventually you should learn the rhythm of the day. You should anticipate the needs of other people and then go out of your way to fulfill those. Make it simple for them. If you can make somebody's job easier for them, there's a good chance they're gonna wanna keep you around. And if they can't, there's a great chance they're gonna recommend you to someone else. So be useful, not just busy. That's the first one. Number two, know what you know and what you don't know. And this one is relatively self-explanatory, but I just have a bullet point that says know what you know what you don't know. And this becomes hard because I think early in our career, we want to be passionate, we want to be excited, which you should be. And oftentimes that enthusiasm can turn into maybe overconfidence, right? Thinking that we know more than we actually do. And I'm definitely guilty of this one. But generally speaking, it's hard for us as maybe intern supervisors or people who have had interns or GAs. It's hard for us to want to pour into people who think they already know everything. But as an intern, you want to have that humility to know that, hey, I'm stepping into this environment. I want to be a sponge. I want to soak up as much as I can learn. I want to ask questions. I want to be energetic and enthusiastic about learning new things. I don't want to show off how much I know. Instead, I want to show off how excited I am to learn. There's probably a better way to say that. Don't be excited to show off how much you know. Instead, be excited to show off how much you want to learn. And if you do that, people will want to pour into you. Third one, understand the ecosystem. So I have some notes here. Don't just look up to the head coach or don't just work for quote unquote your supervisor, right? So if you're an intern and you're under the head S&C, or maybe you're under a supervisor coordinator, or excuse me, an internship coordinator, don't just worry about making them happy. Don't just worry about impressing them. And instead, learn from everybody, right? I have athletic trainers here, sport coaches, administrators, other S&C staff. Everybody around you can teach you something. Even the negative experiences can teach you something. And I've had plenty of those. I've had great mentors who have taught me a ton. I've also been in situations where I'm in an environment and I'm trying to learn and I didn't feel like I was getting a ton from that, or I didn't feel like certain individuals were treating me right, but I've learned a ton from that. Now, I want to make sure I don't make people feel that way. So even in the negative experiences, you have something to learn. So everyone can teach you something, whether it's positive or negative, but being in that environment, learning those things, they'll pay dividends down the road. Because eventually you're going to want to be in a position where maybe you have interns and you're going to remember who treated you right, who made you feel welcomed, who made you feel excited for the industry. And you're also going to remember those who didn't. And then you'll want to default to being the former, making sure that future coaches that maybe work under you are excited to learn from you. Number 4, have a short memory and thick skin. This is probably the hardest one because oftentimes as an intern, you don't want to mess up. And so when you do mess up, it almost becomes hard for you to be accountable for that. But you want to take ownership of it. I've made plenty of mistakes in my career. I remember one early experience, I hit reply all on an email, which was the first mistake. Don't ever hit reply all unless you're supposed to, which I wasn't supposed to. And then I gave an opinion about something that I probably shouldn't have, which was the second mistake. And that opinion was slightly negative about a product that the company where I was interning for, they actually created the product. So there was like 3 mistakes all in one that I could have avoided by either A, shutting up and not thinking I knew, Number 2, not trying to impress people by showing them how much I know, right? The reason I replied all and the reason I wrote the email is because I was trying to show off my knowledge as a young coach. Stupid. I shouldn't have done that. And so I'm giving you the free game. Don't do that. What I probably should have done is had a thought, waited the next morning, had a conversation with somebody about it, got some feedback from them. They might have told me, hey, by the way, we make that product. I probably would have realized, oh, it's a great thing I didn't send that email, right? I could have learned a ton from that, but I didn't. So you have to have a short memory and thick skin, because when you make a mistake, people are going to let you know about it. My challenge to you would be, hear the message independent of the messenger, right? So hear the message. Did you actually mess up? Even though the message maybe wasn't tailored to how you wanted to hear it, maybe it hurt your ego a little bit, but did you actually mess up? And if so, can you own it? Take ownership, learn from it, and don't make that same mistake again. We're all gonna make mistakes. That's normal. That's okay. What's not okay is not learning from that and continuing to repeat the same mistake over and over. My pro tip was to say thank you after getting coached. That is really challenging, but if someone goes out of their way to correct you, the opposite of thick skin is actually gratitude. If someone goes out of their way to give you some game and teach you a little bit of something, and you got to remember, maybe that was hard for them to do, rather than having thick skin and trying to fight them back or rebuttal it, say, man, thank you, I appreciate that, I won't make that mistake again. And if you do that, that alone will impress people, because that takes some maturity, which is really hard to do as a young coach. I get it. I'm not saying these are easy. I'm saying that these are the ways that you can impress people. 5th and final here, leave with a relationship, not just a line item on your resume. How many of us have taken on internships with the goal of just putting it on our resume to go get the next opportunity? And a pro tip for you here is that when you do that, it's very clear to us as people who have interns, who have GAs, it's very clear to us why you're here. If you're only here because it's a stepping stone along your journey and your hope is that this line item on the resume gets you to the next thing, we feel that. You need to be where your feet are. I oftentimes say this, be where your feet are, and know that every day is an opportunity and every day is an interview. So if you're coming in and you're, hey man, I'm here. I'm 10 toes down. I'm here. I'm not worried about the clock. I'm fully committed to this role and this opportunity. And oftentimes when you do that, that will lead to the next opportunity. Versus the interns who come in, it's just like, man, I got to do this, so I'm here. I'm going to be the first one out. I'm going to be the last one in. The lift starts at 10, so I'm going to get in here at 9:50. Right? That will not impress anybody. They might not say it, but there's a good chance they're thinking it. And here's the thing on that, as maybe I take a little side road here. Everybody will talk behind your back. Don't try to stop them. Instead, try to control the narrative that they're saying behind your back. I don't mind if people talk behind my back. I want to make sure I go out of my way to make sure that what they say behind my back is positive about me. No one gets upset if you talk positive behind their back. So as an intern, your goal is that when people speak about you, because they will when you're not around, that they're saying positive things, not negative things. If we were to recap my 5, be useful, don't just be busy. Learn the game a little bit, learn the rhythm. Can you take something off somebody's plate? Know what you know what you don't know. Humility, humility, humility. Be a sponge. Go out of your way to impress and show people how excited you are to learn, not show everybody how much you know, right? And that's okay, because we all started there. Understand the ecosystem. Everybody has something to teach you. It's not just your intern coordinator. It's not just the head strength and conditioning coach, sport coaches, ATs, administrators. Remember, you can learn from the positive and the negative, both of those. Have a short memory and thick skin. And the pro tip, which is challenging, again, none of this is easy. Can you say thank you when somebody actually gives you critical feedback? If you could sit there and say thank you and not take it personal, but instead look at someone and think, man, this person is pouring into me. They didn't have to do this. They could continue to let me make mistakes, but they're trying to help me improve, and I'm grateful for that. And then can you leave with relationships? Not just a bullet point on the resume. Congratulations, you landed the opportunity. The real work starts now. Can you impress people to earn their recommendation? They're going to talk behind your back anyways. Can you make sure what they're saying is positive? All right, so be present, be proactive, be a pro. Don't just be someone who shows up every day. You need to be where your feet are and committed to that. These are job interviews. Every day is an interview. You know that. And then finally, don't just learn, but add value. Okay, so if any of this resonated with you, then first off, make sure you apply it. But second off, I have a next step for you. I put together a mini course, really a master class. It's only an hour long, actually slightly less than that. It's 10 lessons. Each lesson is only about 5 minutes. And it's gonna walk you through exactly how you can impress every day as an intern, as a GA, maybe as an early career coach, someone who just landed an opportunity, but you're still out to prove that you're here for the right reasons and you can do a great job. Click below, sign up, listen to it, knock it out in a day, knock it out right after this if you have an hour, take notes, and then go out and apply this stuff. And if you do that, then you'll set yourself apart. The bar is actually not very high to set yourself apart in this field or really any field. Do the right things, be a pro, and over time people take notice. They say positive things behind your back, to your face, and over time you build those relationships. So there's a link below, click that to learn more. And again, go out and apply this stuff. My goal for you, whether you just listen to this or you take the course, is that you actually impress people and you land your next opportunity. Hope that was helpful. I'll see you next time.